G'day folks, I'm Rick Hollis. You hungry? Let's fill your lunchbox with some PRS MT15 goodness. Sweet mother of Jesus, that was this little guy, the PRS MT15 tube guitar head. I really wasn't expecting it to sound that good, so shout out to my friend Dominic Simeone for lending me the head to do a demo of. On you, Dom. The MT15 is the signature guitar head of Mark Tremonti from Alter Bridge and is aimed at hard rock and metal players, but is versatile enough for many other styles as well. The MT15 features 2 channels, clean and lead, each with its own independent EQ section. The clean channel, which glows blue, is super clean in a Fender kind of way with all the depth and sparkle you could want and has its own bass, middle and treble controls. There isn't a gain control for the clean channel, just a volume knob. The gain is preset but stays clean even when using guitars with humbucking pickups. Having said that, it's not a sterile clean, with the notes having a beautiful bell-like quality to them. The clean channel has a boost that can be engaged by pulling the treble knob out, which the manual says adds a general gain boost, but to my old cloth ears, it still stays pretty darn clean, with more of a jump in volume noticeable than anything else. The lead channel glows red. The lead channel not only has its own bass, middle and treble controls, but also has its own gain knob, unlike the clean channel. The presence control is shared by the 2 channels, as is typical on most amps, as presence comes from the power amp section. The MT15 might be rated at only 15 watts, but it's a very loud 15 watts and more than capable of keeping up with the band volume-wise on small to medium-sized stages. This is partly due to the fact that the power amp runs on two 6L6 output tubes like you would typically find in a 50 watt head, and has a deep, robust bottom end despite its lunchbox style. There is also 6 preamp tubes driving the 5 gain stages, so there is more than enough gain in this thing without having to use boost pedals on the lead channel. Around the back of the amp, there is a serial effects loop, adjustable bias jacks so you can bias new power amp tubes yourself after replacing them, and a half power switch that changes the operation of the power tube from full power pentode configuration to 8 watts in triode configuration. To my ears, setting the amp to half power doesn't make it half as loud and makes the notes cave in a little when you're palm muting, rather than jump out of the speaker like they do in full power mode. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to hear it, but I can definitely feel it when playing at half power. The MT15 is nice and light, weighing in at only 8 kilograms or 17.8 lbs in nonsensical measurement torque. It comes in a padded gig bag and also has a 1-button foot switch for channel switching. As I mentioned earlier, I'm pleasantly surprised by this little amp, not only by how loud it is for 15 watts, but by the depth of the clean channel and the distortion sound, which has that recto goodness without the fuzziness I would usually associate with those amps. A great amp for home, small and middle-sized stages, and for those of us sick of lugging heavy amp heads around. Thanks for your time, folks, and I hope you got a little something out of my demo of the PRS MT15. See you next time. And the distortion sound, and the distortion, fuck you, distortion. And the distortion sound, now it just sounds all wrong.